We all have our different struggles,
Yes.
different ages, different parts of where we are
Yeah.
hormonally. Can you tell us a little in a bit to that? Because we're obviously sponsored today by an amazing
Yes.
charity,
Yeah.
Scottish charity, Endo 1000. So can you talk a bit about your own experience?
Yeah, definitely. I think women's health in general is so important. And again, my mum is a doctor and she's really champions women's health and talks about it a lot and talked a lot about it with me growing up. But I just used to have the most terrible periods ever. So the answer to that was just go on the pill. And I think a lot of women probably get that when they have
At
really
quite
terrible
a young
periods.
age, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was like 14 or 15, so like really kind of young teen. But that was the answer, was to kind of go on the pill. And it was great. It was wonderful. I mean, I didn't have a period so it was wonderful. I had no issues. And then it wasn't really until this year that I decided to come off the pill to see, well, last year now, to see kind of what's going on and try and feel like a woman again. And I've just had such a struggle with kind of getting my period back and kind of that kind of coming out the other side and being a grown adult. And it's been really interesting because I go to the doctors about it and it's just a funny process. I just feel like it wouldn't be like that with anything else. But I think women's health there's just still so much to kind of learn in the women's health space. And like I'm single and 27, so I'm not thinking about having kids now, but I might want some. So it's kind of thinking about your future in that sense as well. I find just as a woman it's a lot to think about.
There is. I think it's definitely gaining momentum. So many more people are talking about it, which is really important just to get that out there. And you also touched before on your sports kind of background.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think for me, certainly I could have done with a lot more support in the sporting environment.
Yeah.
Having the knowledge about nutrition and different weeks of the month, all of that is becoming more important now.
Totally agree. And like your menstrual cycle is not just when you have your period, it's the whole month.
Whole month.
And your body is
it's going through all its peaks and troughs through that month.
Exactly.
Yes.
And your body needs different things at different times. And all of these things I was not aware of. And like I used to play hockey and I, considered an athlete, and that was never anything that was really discussed for us at all growing up. And it would have been probably quite useful just in terms of like rest and recovery and certain foods to eat when and all of that kind of thing. It is such an important topic for sure.
I read a book actually, I think it's called Flow, and I can't remember who wrote it, but it genuinely changed everything for me because it gives you that breakdown of what you should be eating and when, and the peaks of your energy. And I don't think we were really taught that growing up.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it is a real lack of knowledge in that space. I don't think there's been the same level of studies done and all that kind of thing. I think there's so many things about women's health that's probably in the dark ages still. But with charities like this and kind of these conversations, hopefully
we're moving forward and upwards.